action that, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 120, this House resolves to reduce the publication period of the Finance Bill, National Assembly Bill number 30 of 2024, from 7 days to 4 days. Are as many as are of that opinion say aye? Aye. The ayes have it.
Order number 9, the Finance Bill, National Assembly Bill number 30 of 2024, first reading. A bill for an act of Parliament to amend the law relating to various taxes thereto. Order number 10, amendments Assembly Bill number
Honorable Speaker, on motion 10, that of revenue bill, that is National Assembly Bill number 14 of 2024. Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that the Senate amendments to the Division of Revenue Bill, National Assembly Bill number 14, be now considered. Honorable Speaker, and the
down. Member for Nyando, kindly resume your seat. Honorable Ikana, take your seat. Member for Sirisia, this is the third time. Take your seat.
I beg to move that the Senate amendments to the Division of Revenue Bill of 2024. Speaker, and I beg for some few minutes we are able areas to move this actually to reject also here myself.
Let me try assist you. No, now you can hear. You can hear. Go on.
Honorable Speaker and members, the motion before us is very important. And as I said before, as the chairperson of Budget and Appropriations Committee, whereas it is obligatory for me to bring forth this motion, several reasons, Honorable Speaker, that I would wish that to communicate clearly. Speaker, the Budget and Appropriations Committee said, and Honorable Speaker, even in our report, we have amended for the following reasons. The Budget and Appropriations support devolution. And Honorable Speaker, we support when resources go to our various counties, because even our governors are trying to do their best in terms of adjudicating and appropriating the monies that we appropriate in this House, Honorable Speaker. And therefore, on the onset, that the budget fully and unequivocally, and that we horizontally push to our counties, Honorable Speaker, for us today. As we govern in so government is concerned, Honorable Speaker, devolved government envelope and an envelope that is quite thin. Just for us to be on the same page, the bill before us, Honorable Speaker, and I was conversing with Honorable Mukoji about it just a few minutes ago. The bill before us is the bill that actually, Honorable Speaker, shares our national cake vertically, Honorable Speaker. Vertically to say, this bill, Honorable Speaker, allocates a block figure that goes as shareable share, Honorable Speaker, equitable. And thereafter, Honorable Speaker, the formula that is made by the Commission for Revenue Allocation, then that money is shared horizontally among the 47 counties. But before us today is basically about vertical share, Honorable Speaker, and shareable will be ensuing later. Are we rejecting this motion, Honorable Speaker? And the Honorable Speaker, the same division. But as it should be, then it proceed to the Senate. In case Senate agreed with this House, Honorable Speaker, but Honorable Speaker, as it is procedurally, when they are back the bill to the House agrees carrying the amendments of the Senate. But Honorable Speaker, we are going to do this afternoon, then Honorable Speaker, process matter, Honorable Speaker. And therefore, Honorable Speaker, as we reject this bill, it is thus an opportunity we are requesting from this House that they give us an opportunity to proceed to mediation between this House and the Senate so that we can get a middle ground. The facts around the policy statement that we passed earlier this year, Honorable Speaker, we want to Honorable Speaker, after have had to relook hearings for the budget we are dealing 3.913 trillion, or when we set the ceilings in the budget policy statement, the share that we have billion Kenya shillings. Honorable Speaker, and this is even to get this point. Ceiling 4.18 trillion, even after we slashed the expenditure by the national government. Honorable Speaker, we have still gone ahead, Honorable Speaker, to let the figure budget of consideration, and therefore we have not affected the equitable share that we actually passed in the budget or the other departments. But Honorable Speaker, to the Senate, thought it is proper that, for Honorable Speaker, whereas this House is dealing with a figure of 391 billion, Honorable Speaker, have proposed in the current motion that figure of 4 shillings, and therefore, Honorable Speaker, there is a gap of Kenya shillings These are the ramifications, Honorable Speaker. To GDP ratio, which is actually on in fact, in the region, Honorable Speaker, lowest deficit that we'll be debating later on. So to say 2.9%. And what to our counties of a certain vote has to give way, because, Honorable Speaker, we are not dealing with an open envelope.
Honorable members on my right, the consultations are too loud. Honorable Nyakundi, Honorable Karidho, take your seats. Honorable seat. Right.
To GDP ratio. Honorable Speaker, for markets, and that even as we make the current budget, which the current division of revenue bill is a component of, Honorable Speaker, that it is proper considering Honorable closed envelope, and therefore, if, Honorable Speaker, we were to and the 391 billion Kenya shilling budget policy statement, certain votes and certain add the shareable revenue from 391 billion Kenya shillings, Honorable, slash the RMLF that is going to Speaker, and that is the reason Operations Committee. Honorable Speaker, the second consideration for us to bridge the gap of the 24 billion is for us to slash from the current proposed figure by 10 billion Kenya shillings to go into the shareable revenue, Honorable Speaker. If the wisdom of this House is to agree, have no choice than to slash Kenya shillings 10 billion at the RMLF to go to one of the reasons why, and that is the Appropriations Committee were to agree to slash Kenya reason that the Budget and Appropriations Committee rejected those proposals by the Senate, Honorable Speaker. Agree with the Budget and Appropriations, Honorable Speaker, the proposed amendment by the Senate so that we proceed to the critical areas which RMLF. So by this House agreeing for us to reject, we will be saying this, Honorable Speaker, that constituency roads committee in our constituencies, by rejecting, Honorable Speaker, on NGC. Proposals, we are already in the process of. It will be injurious to NGCDF committees across the country with the current. Honorable Speaker, Vice Chairperson of the Budget, Honorable Mary Amasa, amendments.
Reject. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Amase, order members, let us be orderly. Honorable Kawanjiko, wind up that meeting. Honorable Amase, you have the floor.
Thank you. Speaker, from the onset, I arise to second the rejection of Assembly Bill number 14 of 2024. The discussion is about the Senate is the issue is that 10 billion difference has got to come from somewhere. Some vote has got to give way. Had this from the RMLF or probably has got to come from amount of the
Honorable members, I therefore propose the question that the Senate amendment to the Division of Revenue, National Assembly Bill number 14 of 2024 be now considered. Majority Leader.
Honorable Speaker, to agree with the Committee on Budget is important. Someone wants all choices, Honorable Speaker. If, Honorable Speaker, we were to agree, the chair of the Budget and Appropriations Committee and his committee are telling us, when you give, Honorable Speaker, you governors with the road for road maintenance. They have out of this for if we are to will have nothing else to sacrifice your Kera roads maintenance funds. They are going to build the same roads that you. The chair of the GCDF. GCDF that we are Kenyans across the country can tell you this is the only tangible money they feel on the ground in terms of that we are giving to students. In the money much more, Honorable Speaker. Money, you can see what GAF money is doing in every county
and leaders. Yes. Honorable Speaker, that is why stepping on
Members, we with the House. But no shout. Honorable Ishungwa.
lynched by many male governors and prospective governors to ask that our women leaders even have the governor position as an affirmative action seat because they are good in managing funds, Honorable Speaker. And I don't say this, Honorable Speaker. I've seen as I grew of the pennies a pound. I believe many women leaders in this country have that belief that if you take care of the small money they have, these women leaders under GAF have very little, I think about 7 or 8 million. You can see the effect of that money on the ground. How then do we allow those amendments that are to give it to governors? It will be of Kenya and their sisters in GAF to take care of them in terms of bursaries and social protection funds, Honorable Speaker. And Honorable Speaker, I don't ever see the value of money that is going to county. Speaker, I know there's where we can see good work being done. I know there are counties like Nakuru where we can see good work being done. And there are counties where the Auditor General is telling you, my county in Kiambu to a best that was being given as fertilizer and Honorable Speaker, I don't just say this to support women. Any leaders and I would leaders. These are great leaders, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Majority Leader, are you Junet?
Mr. Speaker, Madam Speaker, to ourselves. Madam Speaker, some of these counties that have seen $1 billion shillings for the first time in their life shall not be used. We must stand up because that is the only way we are going to save. As you are aware, ask for an increment. They have NGCD involved like the health functions, like agriculture functions. Why are you keeping those monies in Nairobi here? Why don't you send those monies to the counties, Madam Speaker? That is why we have people eating. You send those monies to the counties. Madam Speaker, what I am that we must send more money to the counties. Jail. But you cannot deny the people of Kenya who live in counties money in the pretext of corruption, Madam Speaker. There is more corruption in national government than in the counties, and nobody speaks about it, Madam Speaker. Government, it doesn't remain in the counties. We are divided by the corruption there as though that is the only money that is in Kenya, Madam Speaker. Monies are in Nairobi. Monies are here. That is why we are dealing with it. Madam Speaker, what is going to develop this country? What is going to devolution? France developed. Madam Speaker, let me conclude by saying that you cannot add 6 billion shillings.
Honorable Junet, take your... And let's get the IT department work on.
I think
I will let Honorable Junet finish.
Madam Speaker, it will be sad, Honorable Makilap, who was a former Speaker of devolution in this country, with a budget of 3.6 billion, Madam Speaker. And we have added this year, this financial year, only 6 billion shillings, Madam Speaker. If you divide 6 billion shillings by 46, what kind of money is that? What kind of money is that? Is that enough to develop this country? Madam Speaker, let us be honest to each other. If we want to, if there are issues of corruption, we must deal with them. We cannot use corruption to stifle devolution, Madam Speaker. What's happening to the to get their required amount of money. Madam Speaker, in this House, when we are dealing with the devolution, with the division of revenue, we are supposed to divide this money vertically first between counties and national government, Madam Speaker. And Madam Speaker, if you hate your governor, that is your own problem. You can go and sort out your
out of order. Honorable Junet, why?
If you hate your governor, want to run for, it's up to you. The monies that Kenyans are in, Madam Speaker, no other monies on the ground, and the NGCDF, those two monies, county governments and CDF money, that is all, Madam Speaker. All the other monies are in.
So I will not my right if they
reject in totality, Honorable Speaker, as it has come from Senate. Honorable Member Junet, for him to be elected, person I don't want to mention. The Constitution only the Speaker. This year, Honorable Speaker, we have actually added from last year from 375 billion to 391 billion, Honorable Speaker. That to any other resources, CDF through CARE, to continue adding this money, Honorable Speaker. we need to actually encourage the government more that is going, Honorable Speaker, to be going to their pockets and entertainment for and because, Honorable Speaker, what we have done is created semi-gods and it's important for this House to critically think. These are people who have, and we need, and is maintained so that all the whole budget, and without even thinking twice, Honorable Speaker, they can only be sought after they have done with their term. Honorable Speaker, I was reading the paper yesterday and I saw a whole page full of faces of former governors in very unscrupulous way, Honorable Speaker, having acquired money. It's critical for this House to think of how and what works is what is supposed to be empowered. Is not supposed to be empowered. Honorable young parliamentarians, a bill, and we need to go to what is supposed.
Minority Leader.
Supporting the motion. I want to say that I agree in totality with the Senate in their proposed amendments to the Division of Revenue Bill. The Honorable Chairman, man of a what the Senate amendment and layman language is the counties need much more than what you have allocated them. That increase this money from 396 billion to 415 billion shillings. The Senate is not telling us that remove money from NGCDF, remove money from road maintenance levy, whatever. The Senate is simply saying that the counties require increment. It is increment in a trillion Kenya shillings to look around and find out where can we get. That is a plain, simple, actually communicating. Would be totally opposed. I am also one of those people. We know very critical functions. Person at the grassroots. The counties are in charge of health. The counties are in charge of social services. All those other functions. In this country, in the past, we must confront functions. We were able without actually doing. The result is that counties have been given functions which they are unable to perform, Honorable Speaker. Counties have been given functions without the requisite funds to manage those functions. It is a duty, it is a historic duty of this House to right those wrongs is to address these issues objectively. Honorable Speaker, my own layman mind that the senators are proposing need. Honorable Speaker, in the fullness of time, we might actually find that the county governments require much more money. I'll be proposing this. We agree as a House to perhaps a special committee to look at this whole functions. Unless we do that, we shall continue to that there have been a no-brainer this motion and a no by the Senate. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
You'll give me some time. On my left, I have given one each. I'll now give the majority whip.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I think it's important for us not to engage ourselves in populism politics when we are discussing very, very serious matters. We all live in this country, Honorable Speaker. And 20 years. Honorable Speaker. In 2013, what compared to what NGCDF does. First, also to be very factual, some of these governors that we are defending so much, that we are or county governments that we are defending to have a lot of money, you know, cannot even spend the entire amount when getting into the closure. Some governors have not even spent the. We are debating on how we all live in this country that governors do not even do roads, or we are telling them this house, if by the Senate on the division of revenue bill, Honorable Speaker, it will then mean that the amounts that we that is or governed, when you know they are not able, when you know they will not do it. Speaker, in totality, when you say opium or one day you are taking this money for the county revenue, who is the main casualty? Will be the members of parliament. Instead, we should be able to add NGAF, because at least we are able to see what NGCDF is doing, what NGAF is doing. Members of parliament seated on the opposite side, Honorable Speaker, are only playing populism politics. They know even from the counties they come from, it's nothing. I see Honorable Renee shouting, but in her county there is nothing. Votes that are Obadia complaining here, but you go to Bomachoge Borabu, the village roads that are supposed to be done by the that they are not much is given, much is expected.
Honorable members, do not raise your hands. Honorable Kibageni. Speaker, you don't shout.
Yeah, use your card.
My screen, stop shouting in the House.
Thank you, Speaker. As I went can have what governors do, but everything and everybody, everything that the GAV is doing is visible, but you'll need are doing. You will actually structure. You will actually need a doing is of 20 vehicles. Vehicle and in barriers, carrying themselves in high titles, and then you are discussing on how to add the money here. Governors should be subtracted money, not being added, and that subtraction should come to NGCDF and engage the proposal by the Senate on the division of revenue.
Will Honorable Fatuma.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I rise. I'm from Migori County, who is working. Mr. Personal problem. If you guys county kindly be Honorable Sir, I can tell you 100 times that you are shouting and your misbehavior cannot remove Simba. Governor, and please give Simba and plan to kill it. Speaker, too much noise, I can't contribute. Madam Speaker, I suppose this
Madam Chair,
You are not on microphone. Order, members. By shouting, honor. Put your card and put intervention. Honorable Bowen.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, the debate before us, Madam Chair, is about division of revenue bill. Of Migori. It's not about Simbarati and Osoro.
Osoro specified.
The member is in order to discuss people who are not in this house and also to stick to the relevance of Madam Chair, because she I think Madam
Tuma. Did you make unsubstantiated
I did. I was shouting back. I only said what he said in my own words, in my voice. But he knows what I'm talking about, Madam Speaker. Kindly allow me to contribute. Madam Speaker, I think the other side is blackmailing the other MP. The senator said that the money will be taken from NCDF or NGAF. So let us be honest. You have cheated.
Honorable,
when it comes to this,
member for Migori, stick to the relevant topic. On my right, also maintain decorum. Honorable Fatuma, continue.
Madam Speaker, I'm very relevant because I listened to the two speakers from the other side, what they said. And they said that NGAF is working well, NCDF is working well. My point is this. I agree 100% that NCDF anywhere that things that were not in other counties to bring to this house, this government. Always do not give comes to our rescue, especially not blackmail here and talk of NCDF. Look at Honorable Sir of his behavior. Never even went. Arati will win whether you like it or not. Madam Speaker,
Order. To one another. We'll do 2 and 2 on the minority. Order, members. Before we get to the question, we will have the chair. But
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. With all the members, I agree with the members on the right side of the Speaker, and I also agree with the members on the left side of the Speaker. I agree with the Majority Leader as much.
We'll go with your cards. See you on my
Honorable Speaker, Leader Honorable Kimani Ichung'wah, as much as I agree with the Minority Leader Honorable Opio, Honorable Speaker, I agree with Honorable Osoro as much as I agree with Honorable